You want to learn the fastest way to make serious money in an online coaching business? Then stick around for today's show. So the big question is this: how is a tiny percentage of entrepreneurs blow the pack away? What are they doing that we're not? I asked myself that question for 10 years. I was failing forward and getting sick of it. I wanted to build a coaching business, but couldn't make any headway. So I started studying. I realized that the world's most elite marketers, entrepreneurs, and gurus were all using the same 4-step system. I call it the authority factor. On the show, I'm going to prove to you that the authority factor worked for them and it'll work for you. My name is Ken Dunn. Let's get started. Hey, listen, I want to get started by just issuing this blanket statement to you. People pay for proximity. If you're watching the show today or if you're listening to the show today, do me a favor and type that in the chat right now. I want to make sure you heard that. People pay for proximity. I've been helping people to build coaching businesses for well over a decade, and I've helped hundreds of people launch really successful businesses into the 6 and 7 figures. And when I go back and study all of my successful students and my own business, what I'm doing in it, I realize that most new coaches who are trying to get a business off the ground and make their first revenue, they get the whole story backwards. I've seen this hundreds of times, and you're probably making some of these mistakes yourself. When somebody's first getting started, they get into somebody's workshop or somebody's training, and they hear these really amazing systems about how you can build funnels and run ads and create these products online so that you can start making money in a coaching business. But if you really understood what makes the buyer buy, then you would not even bother to do all that stuff up front. You would test your theories first and figure out exactly what's the right way to sell. And the fastest way in the world to make money in a coaching business is working one-on-one with somebody. Now, hold on. Before you start rolling your eyes at what I just said, let me explain this to you. My business is incredibly evolved today, and we have an entire value ladder set up in the business that starts with us giving away free products and services, free advice, as much as humanly possible. Anything that's in my mind, I love to give it away for free because that builds trust with our audience and gets people paying attention. And then from there, we take them into some type of gateway product, I call it. It's an entry-level product that gives people a chance to make their first purchase at as low as humanly possible price, so it's most convenient and it's least amount of stress for them. But our gateway products are specifically designed so that people get real help fast and that they see some type of tangible result for their spend, for their money within 7 to 10 days. That makes their belief in me go through the roof, and it makes them want to buy more. And then from there, the next step in our ladder is an online course that deals with a more complex problem, something that is just the next natural step in the journey. Because if somebody buys your gateway product and they really love what you're teaching them, they're going to get the result and they're going to say, I wonder what else they're selling. So we give them the next step in that. Now, from there, this is where it gets interesting. We have a team of coaches here at the company that work with every single new student who buys an online course and make sure they get started properly and answers all their questions, but then they also get to know them and they ask them if there's any interest in buying a higher level program to work closer to me. And it's amazing how the interest in our group program and our one-on-one coaching program, which I sell for $50,000, and our Mastermind Group, which is $20,000 a year. These are our highest end products. I truly believe they're easier to sell than the online courses with all the workshops and the webinars. So last year, I did a little test. I wanted to prove a theory. Remember what I said at the beginning of the show, right? People pay for proximity. I did a little test, and I asked myself, would people just go right to the top? And how hard would it be? So I have about 10,000 people on my personal Facebook page. for those of you that are skeptics, you're going to say, well, you can only have 5,000 friends. Well, think again. You can have followers on top of friends, and there's about almost 10,000 people there. So I put a couple posts on my page, and I said, I'm willing to work one-on-one with a select group of people for the next, I think it was 6 months. And I'm going to help you to fix this problem, X whatever that problem is. And if you're interested, type more info in the chat, and I'll send you a private message, and we'll go back and forth and chat in the private message. And if it makes sense, we'll get on Zoom, and then I'll tell you how much it's going to cost. Well, friends, I had over 100 people in less than 48 hours actually say they wanted more info. And from that one offer that we did on our Facebook page, no ads, no funnels, nothing, we made $250,000. So I started studying why that was. And I even asked the people who took me up on the offer and why they did it. And they all said the same thing. Because I can get where I want to go faster if I'm working with you directly. When people are starting coaching businesses, they get so lured in to the technical world that we're in. They get so lured into doing it easier and faster that they miss the most important first step in building a coaching business. It's to prove your product. Prove your product or service. People pay for proximity. So if you really believe that you've got the goods and that you can coach other people, what you should do is think about what's the biggest problem that you want to help people with. Think about what's the problem in their mind, not what's in your mind. Many coaches have made that fatal error right there, and they've gotten so passionate about being a life coach that they go out and they say, well, I'm going to help people fix their lives. No, that will fail. Think about what is the actual problem that they have in their mind. When they're scrolling to avoid dealing with their problem, what are they thinking in their mind? I'm so sick of my dysfunctional marriage. I got to lose weight. Those types of problems. And come up with a 90-day game plan. If you were working a one-on-one with somebody for 90 days, what result could you get them? Lay it all out. Use a spreadsheet if you have to, and lay it all out online, so that you know on a week-by-week basis what they're going through, and then create a coaching program. If you're brand new, just create a syllabus that you know what you're doing with them every week, and then use your organic means, the organic strategies or abilities that you have right in front of you, like your Facebook page, your Twitter page, do a YouTube video, do on Instagram. Say, listen, I'm building a new program. I want to work with a select group of people one-on-one for the next 90 days, and I'm going to help them and lay out what the problem and the solution is. And there's going to be a fee for this service. However, if you do not get the result, I will give you a full refund. But in return, I want you to do a video testimonial for me that I'm going to use later in my journey to help build my business. If you want more info, type info in the chat and see what happens. If you're trying to start a coaching business right now, that is the best first step you can make for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's the fastest way to get money in. People are more willing to spend more money to get closer to you and to get your direct help one-on-one than they are to buy an online course. It's just a fact. People pay for proximity. People pay to get the thing done fast. The other thing it's going to do for you is it's going to get you some real proof that you can use in a book, you can use it in a workshop, you can use it as a testimonial to prove your offer when you're automating. I mean, getting a video testimonial, getting some type of real proof, you'd pay millions of dollars for that. I remember back in 2014 when I first joined Russell Brunson's Inner Circle. I was at an Inner Circle meeting in a room with like 25 of the top digital marketers in the world. And Russell stood up on stage and he said, the most important tool you have in your business is video testimonials. Getting other people talking about you. Even if you have to do your coaching for free to get those video testimonials, do it. And I echo those sentiments, those comments 100%. If you start by offering to do one-on-one coaching, like I just suggested to you, and come up with a price point that makes it really easy for you, it'll blow your mind how simple it really is. That's it for today. People pay for proximity. I hope this helps.